Hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well. So this is the paper of chemistry IB standard level SL May 2023, and it is from the time zone 1. So let's start the paper. So in the first question, the question is about the acid base properties. Deduce the ionic equation, including the state symbol for the reaction of hydrogen chloride with the water. So hydrogen chloride, which is HCl, aqueous, whenever it reacts with water, what happens? It generates chloride ions plus H3O plus aqueous. So that's the equation. Now calculate the pH. We have to find the pH. The formula is pH is equal to negative log of hydrogen ion. So negative log of 0.5, which is 0.3. Why the solution of ethanoic acid has the higher pH than hydrochloric acid? So yeah, it's very easy. Like we can say that ethanoic acid is a weak acid and partially dissociate. So we can say ethanoic acid is weak acid and partially dissociates to give hydrogen ions, whereas HCl is strong acid and fully dissociates to give hydrogen ion. That's why the pH. So greater hydrogen ions, higher pH. That's the thing we need to know. So a pH probe can be used to distinguish between the acid in part C, identify another sample instrumental method, simple instrumental method that could be used in school laboratory. So conductivity, that's so easy because conductivity is also the test which is used to identify. If the thing is more good conductor, we can say that it's a strong acid. Outline how the instrumental method identify in part D distinguish between part C. So we can say that so conductivity will be higher for HCl because HCl is a strong acid. That's why. Annotate and label the ground state of boron. So boron has total 5 electron, 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. 1s2 is for helium, so we have to write like 2s there, and then 2p. For 2s, we have to put electrons there and 2p for 1. Sketch the shape of occupied orbital, identify party. So occupied is SO. The shape is S. Also there is p orbital as well. So that is px. That's why you have to draw in x. Explain the decrease in first ionization energy from lithium to cesium down the group. As we move down the group, what happens? Number of shells increase. So as we move down the group, shells increases. So shielding effect increases. Shells increases, shielding effect increases, and nuclear charge decreases. So that's why easier to remove electron. So ionization energy decreases gradually. That's the thing. State the electronic domain geometry of ammonia molecule. Now the electronic domain, like nitrogen has lone pair. So tetrahedral, that's a geometry, and that's a lone pair. Deduce the Lewis-Dot dot and cross diagram of ammonia. That is very easy 3D diagram. You know, in 3D diagram, we have to make the wedge bond and the dot bond. This. Explain with the reference of force between molecule why ammonia has higher boiling point. Because ammonia has the hydrogen bond and phosphine has the only the permanent dipole force. Both has dipole force. But ammonia has hydrogen bonds and the strength of the hydrogen bond is highest. Its its strength is higher. Yeah. And large energy is required to overcome this force. Yeah. Okay, what is meant by dynamic equilibrium? When rate of forward reaction becomes equal to rate of backward reaction. So that's how you define. Deduce the expression for Kc. That's so easy. So Kc is equal to concentration of product, that is ammonia square divided by nitrogen and hydrogen. So catalyst lowers down the activation energy basically. Catalyst lower down the by providing an alternative pathway. Sketch the Boltzmann distribution curve showing activation energy with and without catalyst. That's so easy. So this is the, for example, activation energy without catalyst. So with catalyst, it should be there. So this is activation energy with catalyst. That's how you have to draw. Suggest how the progress of the reaction could be monitored. So progress of reaction could be monitored like so change in volume. We have to take the reaction. We're talking about change in volume with respect to time. Homologous series. So like homologous series, they have like same general formula, same function. And same function. Chlorine is present at second carbon. It should be 2-chloro. Now we have the methyl group. So we have to start the numbering from chlorine. So that's the first carbon, second, third. So 1 chloro, 2 methyl, propane. Butene can be polymerized. Draw the section of polymer. So, in polymer, it turns into, like, first the repeating unit, that is butene. Now it forms polymer, a very big structure. Two repeating units. We have to make one more. State the oxidation state of sulfate and copper sulfate. So copper has 2 plus, sulfate has 2 minus. So now sulfate has 2 minus. Oxygen is negative 8, resultant equal to 2 minus, sulfur has plus 6 R. So sulfate, oxygen is minus 8 there, resultant is equal to minus 2. So sulfur has plus 6 charge, or plus 6 oxidation state. Voltaic cell was constructed using copper 2 sulfate and the zinc. Outline why electrons flow from zinc to copper when these half cells are connected with wire using 25, section 25. Okay. Like you have to see the data booklet. So zinc is more reactive than iron, by the way. That's the reason. Zinc is more reactive than iron. Formulate equations that taking place at anode and cathode. So when zinc lose electron, so it's oxidation, and copper gain electron, it's reduction. So anode, zinc loses electron to form zinc 2 plus iron plus 2 electron. And these 2 electrons are captured by copper. Copper. Okay. Double salts, okay. Calculate the percentage of oxygen in present in double salt. That's so easy. Like, how do we calculate the percentage? The only thing we left oxygen. So add on all of them, minus 100. 100 minus sum of all of them, like 7.09 plus 5.11, 16.22 plus 14.91. So it should be 56.67%. So that's what we need to know. Determine the empirical formula of the double salt. So empirical formula is very easy, like AR divided by AR, like for nitrogen 7.09 divided by 14.01, about 0.506. For hydrogen, moles 5.11 divided by 1.01. For sulfur, like 16.22 divided by 32.0. Zero 0.506. For cobalt, 14.91 divided by 58.93. And for oxygen, so yeah, the value we have for oxygen as well. Once we have the moles, then we have to divide by the smallest one to get the answer. Is that clear so far? Everything is fine. So for the oxygen, like you have to divide by, again, you will get 3.54. Now you have these values, you have to divide by the smallest one. Then we have the simplest ratio. That's so easy question. The molar mass of the empirical formula is the same as the molar mass of formula unit. Deduce the formula unit of hydrated double salt. The same. It should be the same. Like nitrogen, hydrogen, sulfur, cobalt, oxygen. So it should be ammonium ion 2 times and then sulfate. So it should be ammonium sulfate. How many hydrogens there are? So we have to make hydrogen as well. So there are 20 hydrogens. So 8 are already used, so 12. So we have to put there 6. And for sulfate as well, for cobalt. So the full formula will become cobalt, ammonium, sulfate to 6H2. That's the full formula. Ionic equation for the reaction of barium ions with sulfate ions. So barium has +2 charge. It reacts with sulfate to form barium sulfate solid because it is water insoluble. Calculate the mass of barium sulfate precipitate using your answer. If you did not obtain, yeah. So you have like moles. So mass of double salt divided by MR of double salt. This is the answer. And you have to times 2 because the ratio is 2, 1:2. Moles times MR, so 6.08, 10 is power negative 3 times MR of barium sulfate. So we have the answer 1.42 grams. Okay. Determine the standard enthalpy of reaction. So we have sulfur dioxide, sulfur dioxide. Formation, we need sulfur plus oxygen. So we have to find this. For formation of sulfur dioxide, negative 296.8. Formation of sulfur trioxide, negative 395.8. Now we have to start the tails. We have to write start there. We have to write end there. That's a direct route. That's a indirect route. So that's how, like, negative 296.8 plus delta H reaction is equal to negative 395.8. So that's how we find the delta H out. So for the reaction, sulfur diene trial lead to acid decomposition. Okay, so it forms sulfuric acid. Yeah. So bond polarity, oxygen is more electronegative than sulfur because oxygen is more electronegative. More electronegative than sulfur. That's why. Okay, calculate the enthalpy of combustion. So what's the formula? Delta H is equal to mc delta T over N. So 50 times 4.18 times 35 minus 20 divided by zero point 0.1. That's how you'll get the answer. Yeah. So source of error should be heat loss to. So if we put lid, yeah, so put a lid on beaker, it do not allow gas to escape. So calculate the percentage uncertainty in temperature. So we have T1 that is 20 plus minus 0.5. We have T2 35 plus minus 0.5. So percentage uncertainty is equal to zero point 0.5 plus zero point 0.5 divided by 15 times 100. So it is 6.7%. So just one way of reducing the percentage uncertainty. Yeah. So more pressure. Yeah. So we have to write like more pressure. Calculate the overall percentage error in experiment using answer. Okay. So percentage error is equal to expected value original value is like 217 minus 31.4 divided by 297. Times 100. So that's how you will get the answer. That's it.
Thank you for staying with me to the end. Don't hesitate to leave your question or request in the comment section. I'll see you guys next time.